Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're venturing into a really unique landscape. You've given us the Museum of Still Warm Clocks, a novella
Yeah.
that's, well, it's really got me thinking.
It has, hasn't it? It's fiction, obviously, but the source gives us such a potent way to look at some very real human stuff.
Absolutely. So, okay, picture this. A world where your biggest emotions, those huge life moments, they don't just, fade away. They actually become clocks, tangible things.
Right, and it goes even further.
It does.
Yeah.
Like there's this woman, Mira, who literally transforms into the architecture of her house during an argument.
Mid-argument.
Yeah, leaving her husband Hal to, well, live inside her, or what used to be her. That's the kind of wild premise we're starting with.
And what's fascinating is how normal this seems in the story's world. Like, it's a post-metaphysical event, sure, but they have lawyers for it.
Lawyers for dividing up a person house.
Exactly. There are rulings. Hal gets the kitchen and the stairs. Mira gets the attic, the mirrors, even the scent of jasmine by the window. It suggests this society has just adapted.
Which says a lot about us, maybe. How we normalize the bizarre.
It could, yeah. And that's the backdrop for the main focus, the Museum of Still Warm Clocks.
Right, the museum. And it's not what you'd expect. Not full of, grandfather clocks ticking away.
No, it's described as a not quite physical space. It's where these emotional timepieces end up.
And there's a council of soft time running it. Sounds intriguing.
Very. They seem to be the curators of these emotional artifacts.
And the clocks themselves, that's where it gets really interesting, I think.
Oh, absolutely. They don't measure seconds or minutes. They measure emotional resonances.
So what does that mean exactly?
Well, think of a love hourglass, but instead of sand, it's filled with sighs. Or maybe a wristwatch for a lost lover that ticks with the rhythm of their ghost's pulse.
Wow, that's powerful imagery. The idea that these intense feelings have a kind of lasting energy.
Precisely. A presence.
And the museum's location adds to it, too. Between a sentient mushroom tea shop
Sentient, yeah.
and a graveyard for extinct smells. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
It sets the tone perfectly, doesn't it? That feeling the novella calls static before epiphany.
Yeah, like something's about to click, but you're in this strange, charged waiting room.
A liminal space, definitely,
Mm.
where the intangible feels almost solid.
And Hal, our main guy, he works there. And he's connected to a sundial that casts regrets.
Tells you a lot about where he's at, doesn't it? Carrying that shadow around.
It really does. Okay, so then, into this world steps Alira Joy.
On a rain rehearsal day, what a phrase.
Isn't it? Like the world's practicing its melancholy, and she's
Oh.
just striking. Coat of constellations, kelp in her boots, smells like brine and something ancient.
She feels different immediately, and her first question...
Is this where the aching hours go?
Yeah, she just gets it, this emotional time concept.
And Hal's response, we prefer to say they nest. So gentle.
It implies care, doesn't it? Not just storage, but tending to these difficult moments.
And the clock she brings in, it's heartbreaking, a warm gold teacup.
Representing that specific moment.
The moment after I said, I don't believe in forever, right before he cried.
Yeah.
Just a stilled regret.
And the museum has a category for it. Bittersweet severance subclass. Voluntary wounds.
That categorization is wild. It's like they've built a whole science around heartache.
A taxonomy of pain. It suggests you can classify these things, maybe understand them better, or at least acknowledge the agency in causing them voluntary wounds.
And she keeps coming back, right? Bringing more clocks, these shards of time.
Yes, and that's when things get really interesting, because the museum starts to react.
The building itself, how?
It mirrors their connection. Like corridors get longer when they laugh together.
Really? So more space for joy.
Seems like it. And then shorter, more focused during deep conversations.
Wow.
And hidden exhibits start appearing, but only when they're both there, like a pendulum of mutual curiosity.
Or the overlapping questions metronome. It's like their shared experience is literally unlocking parts of this emotional space.
Exactly. It speaks volumes about how connection can reveal deeper layers in ourselves and maybe in the world around us.
And then there's that hall of half-healed hours
Oh.
with the hourglass.
The one that reverses when they speak truth about their pain.
That's such a powerful visual. What kind of truths?
Quiet ones. Hal admits, I think I loved her more for who she wanted to be.
Oof, that hits hard.
And Alira says, I think I broke things just to feel what silence sounds like.
And the sand flows backward.
Yep. Like their honesty is actively kind of reshaping their emotional past right there in that moment.
It suggests vulnerability can actually change how we hold on to pain, maybe even heal it.
It feels that way. It's about the power of speaking truth, especially difficult truths, in forging real connection.
And building on that vulnerability, they build a clock together.
They do, but not with gears and springs.
No, with beach glass, fossilized laughter.
Driftwood soaked in remembered awe. Things filled with their shared experiences.
And this clock, it doesn't tell time like, noon or midnight.
No, it just pulses between them.
A rhythm of their connection.
It's a new kind of time they've created, built from shared moments, not regrets.
And around this time, Mira, the house, she leaves.
Well, she undergoes this tide-like retreat and leaves a note.
In the attic, right? What did it say?
Thank you for not painting over the echo. I've gone to study architecture in storms.
Wow. Acceptance and moving on in the strangest, most fitting way for her.
It feels like a release, definitely. And then the jasmine scent Hal associated with her, it disappears from the windowsill.
A final closing of that chapter, making space.
Exactly. Space for Hal and Alira and for this new way they've found.
Which leads to the moving into the clock they built.
I mean, talk about living in the moment or living inside their shared moment.
This spatiotemporal dwelling held aloft by laughter and made pliable by shared silences. The writing is just...
It's beautiful, isn't it? Shimmering walls of possibility, a roof humming lullabies from other timelines.
It sounds less like a place and more like a feeling you could inhabit. Deeply intimate.
And their answer, when asked, what time is it here?
Oh yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah.
Somewhere between the moment you realize you're safe and the moment you stop apologizing for needing to be held.
That just captures everything, doesn't it? Time defined by emotional safety, by acceptance.
And the other clocks in the museum apparently react to this. Like they understand.
They breathe, the novella says. It underlines how powerful and real this shared time they've created is within that world.
So time in this story isn't linear at all. It's felt. It's lived.
Completely subjective. And Hal and Alira become curators of that feeling of emotional continuity.
Teaching workshops on temporal composting. I love that.
Me too. Taking old pain and turning it into fertilizer for new growth. It's such a healthy metaphor.
It really is. It suggests even the hard stuff has value, can feed the future.
If we learn how to process it, yeah.
And then the child shows up near the end with the melted watch.
From a mother who disappeared into poetry. Another unique personal timeline.
And Lyra's response is just perfect empathy.
We can help you remember what she meant by that.
It brings it all together. The museum's purpose, their purpose, finding meaning, connection within these strange personal flows of time, and that final line of the novella.
Time is not linear. It's a garden of strange flowers. And here, everything blooms in season.
It's just, yeah, it perfectly sums up this idea that our emotional lives, our memories, they unfold on their own schedule.
And maybe embracing that unique rhythm, that subjectivity, is where healing and real connection happen. It challenges our whole clock-watching view of existence.
It really does. These metaphors, the clocks, the housewife living in a shared moment, they're so out there, but they somehow get right to the heart of being human. Time, memory, love, change.
All of it.
It definitely makes you stop and think about your own still warm clocks, those moments that still feel present, emotionally charged.
Absolutely. This whole deep dive really invites you, the listener, to consider that your own personal timeline isn't just dates on a calendar.
Right. So the final thought maybe is, if you could walk into that museum of still warm clocks, what timepiece would you find? What artifact represents a key moment in your garden?
Or maybe, what aching hour, what shard of time would you bring to leave there? Perhaps hoping to understand it better or just let it nest.